And back by popular demand, it is, drumroll please, another apology letter video. That's right. For those of you that missed the last one, when I was in high school, I was an asshole. I had like Tourette syndrome and neurological disorder, but really I was just an asshole. And my boarding school had me writing letters of apology to anyone I was mean to, be it a student, a teacher, a wall. And I found those apology letters in my mother's basement a few years ago. And many of you have been like, are you publishing these? These are hilarious. Yes, stay tuned. But for now, here are the few. But for now, here are a few of my favorites. These are real apology letters that I had to write when I was in high school. So strap in. This one is to the bottom step of the staircase leading up to the girls' floor. So, I'm sorry I kicked you. You did nothing wrong to provoke me. The headmaster provoked me, not you. The good news is that you are made of wood and you are literally hundreds of years old, and I didn't even leave a dent. Something tells me that if people had not seen me kick you, I wouldn't have gotten in trouble because you sure as hell were not going to tell on me, but still, I am sorry. I will not kick you again, and if I do, I will pay for the damage if there is any. I will also high five everyone for kicking you hard enough to leave a dent. Love, always, Pammy. Ooh, that one people won't like me for. This is one of my favorites. This is to a classmate. Again, I'm taking the names out, but it was a female classmate. Dear classmate, I'm sorry that I allegedly threatened to behead you for waking me up. With that said, I literally have no recognition of threatening you. It's odd that I have to write a note for something that I allegedly did. Do you have proof of this? If not, I'm not sorry. Love, Pammy. By the way, I sign all of these a different name. They're all like versions of my name, but sometimes it's Pammy, sometimes it's Pammers, Pummels, Ray, which is my middle name. I change it all the time. Some of these have so much bad language that I cannot say them on the YouTubes. This one my mother will murder me for. Not yet. I can't do it. I have to warn her before I do that one. There's one that was posted on the bulletin board to the entire school community. I don't know what I did, but all the letter says is, Dear everyone, it was art. Calm down. Seriously, Pammy. Here's a whole series to my art teacher again. No, this is not funny, but I'm going to read it. Please, please, please keep in mind that the language I use and some of the terminology was because I needed to channel my energy into comedy, which I later did. But at this point in my life, I was just an asshole, and I made light of things that aren't funny. Please don't write me angry letters about this one. Okay. This was to my art teacher, 3-part series. Dear art teacher, I love you, by the way. I know she watches these. Dear art teacher, I'm sorry that I called you the art Nazi. I was not the one who coined the term. I was just the one who yelled it at your face when you told me I was late for class again. You could thank me. Now that you know we all think you're a Nazi, maybe you can begin to fix it. Love, Ray. Oh, no, it doesn't say love. It says, okay. It says, you are welcome, Ray. Brutal. 1 hour later, and I literally, my boarding school wrote 1 hour later on the next apology letter. Dear art teacher, I'm sorry that you think that I think Nazi jokes are funny. I don't think they're funny. As a Jewish person, I'm pretty sure that I had family members die in the Holocaust, so I don't take jokes about it lightly, and I don't make jokes about it. I was not making a Holocaust joke by calling you a Nazi. I was simply stating that you are a Nazi. Love, Ray. How did anybody raise me? This was the next day. Final one to this art teacher. For this thing, I wrote her hundreds of letters. Dear art teacher, I am for real sorry this time. Please let me back in class today. I will be on time. I will work for the entire class without talking. I will not call you a Nazi. And I will stop making fun of you for eating your twin in utero. You know that art is my favorite period. I am sometimes late because I have math class before your class, and math makes me want to bash my face in. I'm sorry for taking that out on you. I honestly need art right now to make me feel like myself again. Please reconsider your decision to make me sit in detention for the rest of the week instead of doing art. I'm honestly sorry. It would be so a Nazi of you if you let me return. Love, Pam. I love that I make jabs even in apology letters. This one felt like a kind of real apology, so we'll take it. Oh, hey, do y'all see this zit right here? Sorry, I'm not one of those people who doesn't point out my imperfections. If I've got something going wrong or going on, God, I want y'all to see. I want y'all to know that I have a giant zit on my nose. I feel like it's empowering to own it. Okay. This one was to the entire school community, and when I had to write ones to everyone, they just put it on the bulletin board for everyone to see. This one was because this one has some language. I'll bleep out the language so that I can post this and not get in trouble. I don't know all of YouTube's rules yet. I don't know. Dr. Mike was telling me some of them, but in one ear and out the other. But this letter was because my boarding school, they were sending a bunch of students whitewater rafting, and I signed up to go whitewater rafting. And then the whitewater rafting place asked for our height and weight, and I was 4'6" and just like a lot of pounds. I'll talk about that in another video. I've lost about 155 pounds, but I was about as tall as I was wide, if we're going to just be totally honest. And the place said they didn't make wetsuits for someone of my stature. Also, because I was 4'6", it wasn't just my weight. So I threw a meltdown, a temper tantrum. I flipped out. At this point in my life, I'm like way more well adjusted. When I was in high school, I would say I was a nightmare. Okay. But this was my reaction. This is to the entire school community. Dear entire school community, do you know that they don't make wetsuits for overweight nuggets? So when I said this effing sucks after finding out that I couldn't go whitewater rafting, I maintain that those emotions and words that I yelled were accurate and not overly dramatic. I didn't even sign that one. And then there was one, and it looks like this was the next day from the wetsuit experience. Dear everyone, I'm sorry I screamed last night and slammed doors. I was really frustrated when I was told that I couldn't go on a weekend activity whitewater rafting. Whitewater rafting sounds effing awesome, and it's not clear why the rafting place doesn't make wetsuits for overweight nuggets. Love, Pam. I still feel strongly about that one. There's going to have to be a rated R version of all of these because I must have had the green light to like use any language that I wanted in these. My boarding school was great about there was like you didn't have to hold back if it was art. So you didn't get in trouble for language if it was in poetry. So I had a poem that was called Shit. The entire poem was called Shit. And it was about having Tourette's and getting in trouble and having to clean toilets, which was a lot of my first year at boarding school. And one of the lines of the poem was, the shitty clock ticks as I tick and clean up shit. The crime oddly fits the punishment, don't you think? And I didn't get in trouble for it because it was art, which I appreciate. I love that they were like, say whatever you want as long as it's an art. And I think that's the reason comedy worked well for me. Because for a while, I don't think my comedy was funny. I think my comedy was me letting out all of the emotions in a way that I was allowed and wouldn't get in trouble for. So with that, I'll do more of these, y'all. There are thousands. I am doing something with them. Stay tuned. I'm just so thankful people watch these videos. My family can't stand when I speak, so it's nice that people willingly tune in. So my zit and I want you to have a great evening and continue not licking doorknobs, unless that's your thing, unless that's your kink. If it's your thing, like just like sanitize the doorknob first. But you do you.